Alright. Welcome back to Bleach Anime Review, episode number 47. Here reviewing episode number for Bleach, Thousand Year Below War, episode 37, which is also the 400th and third episode of the series, which is called Shadow. I think it's like Shadows in Line, I believe it is. Shadow's Gone. Yes, it's the name of the episode. And this episode covers, pages 15 and 17 of 649, the entirety of chapters 650 to 653, and the first 5 pages of chapter 654. So, let's talk about basically a little bit chronological, a little different in the episode. So in the flashback, we see So Sui with his brother, this big, huge guy, and a woman who looks like Nanao, who turns out is actually her mom. And you wonder why basically that, well, it was mentioned in the previous episode that she looked like her mom. Well, that's kind of the reason for it. Oh, in case you're curious, though, like, where's Ichigo's go? Ichigo's not in the episode. And if you're curious, where is Ichigo? He is not here. There's going to be times during this arc where Ichigo is not going to be featured. He may be the main character of the series, but this arc, like, it's similar in the case with the 4th Great Ninja War. There's times where Naruto's not even featured in that one. It's very similar. Bless you! Welcome. So, here's basically showing flashback. So, first you see his brother get a hairpin from, by the way, his name is Sozakun. Isu basically gives one of her hairpins. I think it's a pink, no, it's a blue one. Just to basically know when he's out in the field. And then later he died. Under mysterious circumstances, they don't say how he died. And it's shown that he is given he's given basically the hairpin, and then we show that basically after he died, his wife went back to family while she's pregnant with his child. And they also revealed the whole thing with Isu's family. They're a group of priests, and apparently all of the members of the family are all women. Like, they basically marry other guys that basically added their family because they apparently don't give birth to girls, which I'm like, okay, I get the fact basically of long-lived girls, but no boys? Kind of, I'm not going to criticize, it just seems a bit odd, to say the least. So, then we see that she is basically accepted by two older people who claim to be relatives of hers. They don't see much of it. They briefly hear that they accepted, she accepted the academy. And she said she wasn't good with a sword, but she was good with Kido. She tried to have a Kido Corps, but instead she got basically drafted to Squad 8. And she sees the captain, who she before wearing a kimono, and another hairpin. Yeah, it's shown in a flashback that her mother gave him, which is confirmed basically in the present day, that she gave him basically this thing in this bag, along with her hairpin. Apparently also a kimono too. So, and he, of course, he supposed to be saying flashback. Ladies earn my respect. The guys that earn my respect, which is typical him because he always has a thing for ladies. He also apparently wore different kimono when apparently he had this meeting. And then we jump right to present day, where he's like relaxing a bit on his own, the one who basically is what's her name here? Kaiten. Where he's like relaxing in her lap. And then he gets a beam in his belly. You're like, what the heck? Well, it turns out the guy who he thought he killed in the previous episode, who he beheaded, by the way, is somehow still alive. So he kind of grows himself in their head, where it's shaped for chicken. I should point out the guy was black, and now he's a chicken. Well, he's somehow a bird. hip twist his head around the whole episode, and then he hides behind a building after he tries to escape. And then, of course, the Now basically comes in, and of course, basically she asks him, "Give me my katana." And then we see, believe it or not, the return of the crazy one, the other half of Zanpakuto, which, by the way, the last time she appeared in the anime was in the Sentient Zanpakuto arc, which was season, I think it was like 14 of the show, which was the last time these two were seen. And you could say, in terms of the anime, this actually is the return, despite the fact, in terms of the manga, when they showed up, it was their manga debut. And these two characters were actually original for the anime, that the manga added in, and then the anime reinserted back in, basically making these two characters canon. It's similar with the Valley of Screams, where that was something made for the movies, and then Taito Kubo made that semi-canon in the way in terms of the dialogue of the anime. It's like the very first movie that was ever released is actually canon to the franchise. Not just the anime, but the actual franchise. Very interesting. Yep. So, and apparently her sword is kept in the crazy one's mask, but the way she does is weird. She like grabs inside of her mask, will look like she's grabbing inside of her head, and pulls out the Zanpakuto. And apparently she gave birth to this thing in order to this woman to protect the Zanpakuto. And apparently the Zanpakuto actually has no blade at all. So it's reflective of God's light. And with it, she has a really interesting battle sequence to the point where her legs are wounded in the battle. By the way, So Sui's his arm, basically, his shoulder is like gone. It was like a little hole blown into it. And by the way, this guy had also a hole blown in his belly, and he's still moving. I'm like, how the hell are you moving, dude? You have a hole in your gut. You should be dead. But no, he's still alive. Maybe he missed vital parts. That's possible. Who knows? By the way, it was the second time he was hit in the gut. The last time basically was a copy of himself. So then eventually, well, the Quincy's defeated. Yeah, thanks to being sliced to pieces with this no blade Zanpakuto, which apparently can't actually cut anything, but it can reflect God's light. And it can cut that light, so it's a light cutter. Interesting. Where the blade is kind of behind wood. I found that to be interesting. And then he is destroyed, and then So Sui proceeds to walk back, and he's like, time to join others, but let's take a break first. And she can barely walk as is. But overall, this was a great episode. Yeah, I loved it. And we have only 3 more to go for the entire season. And the next episode, we'll finally go back to the chapters that skipped previously, and now we're going back to this. Yes. So if you're curious, where is Ichigo? Where is his group? Not here. And it's not because their scenes were cut from the anime. That's not the reason why they're not here. They are not here simply for the reason that they were not in the chapters. That was simply the reason for it. Heck, even One Piece occasionally you see chapters where Luffy is not even there. Sometimes in flashbacks or in other areas of the story where Luffy is just absent. So the anime decided to insert scenes and basically quick cameos of still continuous fight between Kaido. Here, I guess Parrot doesn't want to do that at all. Insert Ichigo for a brief cameo. Just to assume the fact he's still here. I mean, they could easily do that. In Naruto, they kind of did it, but at least they did it basically just for a quick walk-on. Just to acknowledge the fact he's in the episode and give him a couple lines. Maybe if they're not in the actual material, but at least acknowledge that he's here. Ichigo, because if you see this whole arc, this whole 1,000 Blood War so far, in all of these episodes, Ichigo has not appeared in a lot of them per se. Like, in the case of this core, he's missed like 6 episodes so far. Yeah. But we have only 3 more to go, and then we're done. Excuse me. As when the final foreign core come out? I have heard at some point this year, when the final core comes out. Now, the finale for this core was an hour long. So my guess is the last two episodes will release as a double feature. And I believe Hulu did this before, where they released the final two episodes. It could be. Now, my guess is this will probably released not this coming weekend, but the next weekend we'll probably get a chance to get the finale for this core. And presumably, my Saturday's schedule will be reduced down from 3 down to about 2. And who knows? Maybe we get down to 1. Who knows? Now, there is 3 anime going to start really soon. And that's going to be Red Ranger of the World, Dragon Ball Daima, and Headhunted in the World. I am going to start these anime tomorrow because I really want to get started with watching Sentai. Well, this one I'm going to watch anyways, King Archer. But next up is a comic corner, and this is going to be quite interesting, this one, because one of these books, we're discussing the end of an era for this book. We'll discuss it next, okay? Thanks, Bill. Bye.